Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today I am gonna review the Guinevere Deception by Kiersten White. This one is her newest release coming the 5th of November. It's the first book in a trilogy called Camelot Rising, and it is based upon Arthurian legends and myths. I got my arc sent from my friend Justine, who is again so nice to me because she sent me all these arcs, so you know, kindness, book kindness is the best kindness. I was very excited for it. I love the Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein, which we got from Kiersten White last year. It was my first Kiersten White book as well, and I was so excited when she announced this. She wanted to give Guinevere from the Arthurian legends more of a story, not just this psychic maiden thing that she's known for, just being, you know, Arthur's wife or Lancelot's wife that Arthur wants, or whatever rich legend we are following. And she just wanted to give her her own story, which is really what we get here. First of all, I love Merlin legends, Arthurian legends, all that. I love the show Merlin. I even love that show that we got 10 episodes of with Eva Green a long time ago and Jamie Campbell Bower as Arthur, which was for one season, and just generally other stories and everything in this world that I have read and seen. I love it all. This was made for me as a fan of all this. I actually didn't know anything about this going into it, and I'm hesitant to tell you what even says just in the synopsis, just because I was so surprised of things, just because I hadn't read the synopsis at all. But I feel like I should give you something, so it's not a spoiler, but as I read it completely blind, I loved it, but I know some people don't like that, so I feel like I'm gonna tell you something. But of course it's not a spoiler. I would never tell you something more than it is in the synopsis, but it follows Guinevere. But here Guinevere is actually not Guinevere. She pretends she is her because she actually has magic and is gonna protect Arthur against this threat that they don't actually know what is. She has trained under Merlin, and Merlin is currently banished from Camelot because they defeated Uther and the fairy queen, etc. So the land is in peace and in rising from all the horrible things they went through, and Arthur is trying to build his kingdom. And then there is this magical threat, and Guinevere, a fake Guinevere, is sent in to fight it, because Merlin can't at the moment, and that's where the story starts out. I didn't know that Guinevere was not Guinevere when going into it, and I got so surprised, and I loved it. I was like, whoa, wait, this is what the book is about? But yeah, as I realized when I was reading, because I started reading to read the synopsis, it does say there from the beginning, so it's very interesting. Magic is banished in Camelot, and she has magic, so she needs to be very, very careful of what she's doing, but Arthur is aware who she really is. So it's very interesting. What I loved about this so much was just seeing the kingdom, seeing Arthur building it, and seeing his political maneuvers, and just getting the explanations of how the kingdom worked, and just generally other political things. I just felt for me that it made so much sense. I got this I understand this and this makes sense, and I love the explanations and the world building we are getting. It just, for me, it felt so stimulating, because I feel like these are sometimes details that are pushed in the background and you don't really get, as I said, an explanation for it. Not as in detail as in this one, especially a kingdom after it'd been in war and it generally has a new ruler, as Arthur is. I love Arthur's character, and Arthur's described as sun. When he shines on you, you feel like you are the center of the world, but as Arthur is the chosen king and has to, you know, take care of this kingdom, he needs to shine upon everyone, so it's impossible to get all his attention. And when the attention is on Guinevere, she feels so, oh my god, happy, but when he's not, she's like, I can never have all of him, kinda. And it's very interesting reflections and dynamics because of this. And of course I love Guinevere. She is a very, very cool character. She has this thing going on with her, which sounds very, very strange when I said it like that, but there's this thing with her memories going on, and I feel like there's gonna come this twist where we will figure out everything that's going on, and I can't wait for it. I was hoping we would kind of get those kind of answers in this one, but we got it, but we also didn't get all of it. Of course, my sons, since, you know, it's a trilogy, but sometimes you do get more than just teases. In the first book you get kind of all the answers, and then the next book will be about something completely else, kind of like it's about the same, but all the other storylines were kind of answered, and then you get something new in the next book that you don't expect because you kind of got everything answered here. But this is a kind of book that where the plot leads on and it's not like concluded, as I would say. That made total sense. I just feel like some first books have an independent story, but this did not completely have that, but it doesn't mean that the story was any lesser. I'm just saying. I'm waiting for answers, and I want a second book now, but this is not even released yet, so I'm like, oh no. The third character that I loved is Mordred. Like, Mordred was my love in Merlin. I know he's the bad guy, but I loved him, and I loved him here too. And I don't know, I don't need to tell you about Mordred if you know him with the legends, but I still love Mordred. I feel like he is just precious. He will, I don't know what to say without spoiling, but he was precious here too, and I just love Mordred always. Fourth character, Lancelot. Yes, here Lancelot is a woman, and I enjoyed her so much. Like, since Lancelot previously has like been together with Guinevere, does that mean that Guinevere and Lancelot would get a thing? Because Guinevere and Arthur's relationship is not a real marriage. They're not actually together, they're just together to prepare for the people. So if Guinevere got a thing with Lancelot, it wouldn't be cheating, and I'm just like, yes, but we will see what we will get. I love the magic. I wanted more magic actually out of Guinevere. She was like there to protect Arthur with magic, but I feel like the magic she used was very like low-key. I wanted more like flashy magic, kind of, because I feel like the magic she used was kind of weak, but I think that we will get more of it, and like this is just the beginning to see what Guinevere really can do. I've really just been sitting here gushing over the characters and the world. Not surprising actually. I think the most issue I had with it, like I love the world and characters as I just said, but the most issue I had was maybe the plot. Sometimes it really staggered and it wasn't as interesting sometimes as we wanted, and as I said, we don't really get all the answers, or it feels a bit dissatisfying. I know it's like a series, but sometimes I like it when everything is answered in the first book and then you really don't know what the next books are gonna hold. There was just sometimes really random things happening, and I feel like it was just a bit like juddery, and I was like, whoa, what's actually going on? Like, for at some point there was like a dragon and it was just so random, and then it just went over to dragon in like one page, and I felt like it could have been like a bit wider to give it more depth, because it was so sudden and then it was suddenly over, and I was like, whoa. So I feel like some things could have just been longer. It's actually quite a short book. It's only like 300 pages long, so I feel like it actually could have been longer, but also like some things could have been less, but some things could have been more. Rereaders, we're never satisfied, are we? But yeah, generally just the plot and the flow of the story could have worked better for me. But overall, as I said, I enjoyed it so much. I feel like as fans of like the Camelot and Arthur and Merlin and all those characters that we know, it's perfect, and I enjoyed it so much. I had so much fun with it. When I was going to read it like every day, I was very excited, and I was looking forward to it a lot, because I was just like, I want to know what happens. I'm excited for the rest of the series. I give it 4 out of 5 stars. I'm ready for more. There was these small moments and small conversations and deceits and thought patterns from Guinevere questioning the things around her. I just loved all of it, and it was really made me feel for her character. Recommend this a lot. It's pick it up on the 5th of November, which is not that long until, and I don't really have that much more to say. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you want to pick up this book now, because I feel like I can't convince you more. Bye!